Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I've had lots of requests for some recipes. I talk a lot about safety and function of a pressure cooker, but it's time to get back to the point of all this and make some delicious foods. So today I'm going to show you how to prepare garbanzo beans in my 3-liter Hawkins classic pressure cooker. I'm going to go through the process of cooking the beans from their dried state into their cooked state, and then I'm going to go a little further and actually do a recipe that I found on the Hawkins website, which I will link to in the description, of a really nice savory side dish or even a main dish that has the cooked beans, tomatoes, onions, garlic, parsley, tarragon, all kinds of great ingredients. The recipe that I'm using was written for a 5-liter pressure cooker, but I only have a 3-liter. So I'm going to be halving the ingredients of the recipe. Garbanzo beans, legumes, those things are expanding foods. Just FYI, here is a size comparison between a dried garbanzo bean and after soaking. You can see it's already increased in size by at least twice. The recipe is referring to pre-soaked beans, not dry beans. You can either soak your beans overnight for about 12 hours in regular cold water in a bowl, which is what I did, or if you're in a rush, quick soak the beans by pouring hot water over them and letting them soak that up for about 2 hours. I'm excited to show this to you. Let's get started. The recipe calls for a green pepper, but I didn't like the looks of the green peppers at the store, and the red ones looked really nice, so I'm making a little substitution there. Love these. It's the middle of winter here and I don't have any really good fresh tomatoes, so I'm gonna substitute with these canned ones that I got at the store. They're already peeled, they're already diced. They are in sauce, so I'm gonna drain the sauce and then I'm going to measure them out. So it's about 340 grams. So that's what I plan to do. If you have fresh tomatoes and you have the time and the patience to peel them and chop them, I would definitely do that. But I'm hoping that this substitution will be all right. So we're ready to get started. Let's move on to the stove, and the first thing we'll do is add 3 cups of water to our pot. Next, we're gonna add our pre-soaked beans. Remember, I'm only doing the half recipe, so I'm putting in 1 cup of beans. Our water and beans are in the pot. We're gonna leave it uncovered and turn it on high, bring it to a boil. Our beans have come to a boil, and as you can see, there is some kind of foamy, we call it bean scum. We're just gonna scoop that off with a slotted spoon. So now that our beans have come to a boil, we're gonna attach our lid. We're gonna reduce the pot to medium heat and bring it to full pressure. And of course, we know when it's reached full pressure, when it sends out that first big blast of steam or our first whistle. So we'll wait for that. Here we go. Okay, so that whistle means our pot's at full pressure. Now we're gonna turn the heat down even more. We're gonna turn it down to low. We're gonna allow the pot to cook for 18 minutes. So I'm starting my timer right now for 18 minutes. So right now our beans are cooking. And that's good. You wanna hear the whistle. Remember, when your pot's at operating pressure, you wanna hear the whistle happen 3 or 4 times a minute. If the pot stops whistling, I'm gonna turn the heat up a little bit more, and if it whistles too much, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit more. Okay, our timer's gone off, so we're gonna turn the heat off. We're going to release pressure from the pot, wrap your hand up with a towel and release it with a knife. See how there's some foamy stuff coming out? This often happens when you're cooking beans. That's why it's really important not to overload your pot. You can also do this over the sink, and I think that's what we're gonna do. It seems like we already got most of it while it was still on the stovetop though. Okay. And you can open up your lid. So our beans look great. We're gonna set them aside and rinse out our pressure cooker pot. And then move it back to the stovetop. All right, our beans are cooked, our pot is rinsed, and now we're gonna start putting our recipe together. We're gonna add 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And we're gonna turn the pot back on between low and medium. And we're just gonna heat that oil for about a minute. That oil's nice and hot, so we're gonna add our onion and our garlic. That should be good. And then we're just gonna let this cook for a couple of minutes till the onion and garlic is translucent. All right, tomatoes have been cooking for about 3 minutes. Smells really good. Now we're ready to add our beans and the rest of the ingredients, except for the parsley that goes on at the end. We're gonna stir this up really well, reduce the heat to low, and let it simmer for about 5 minutes. So that's it. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of Parmesan to the top of this because I like a little bit of Parmesan on pretty much everything. Thank you so much for joining me. See you on the next one.
It's unusual time.
It's good, right?